welcome everyone. This is your host and host, founder and CEO Aerobe, Miss Neha Chauhan. And today on this episode, very special episode, we have a very special person with us. She's a very important person in the world of education. And I can promise all of you that through today's episode, you guys going to learn so many different things, not only just in terms of education, but also in terms of choosing your right career opportunity or the people who are, still figuring out. I feel today's podcast can be a first step towards a successful journey of your life. Mrs. Sangeeta ma'am, principal of Manav Rachna International School. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on this podcast.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today, ma'am?
I'm feeling very excited. Thank you so much for calling me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your time. Ma'am, are you enjoying the event? Are you enjoying Goa?
Yes, this is not the first time I'm coming to GSLC event. I've been here a number of times and Goa is my favorite destination.
Yes.
So I'm just very excited and loving it.
Right, same, ma'am. Whenever I get a little bit too stressed from work, so I'm like, let's take a small vacation.
Great. Yes.
Ma'am, heard a lot about you, and because you've been in the education domain from such a long time, especially women in power, and we all know whether it's a corporate or whether it's the school world, there's series of hierarchy inside this. On your shoulder, there are more pressure because we all look forward to our principals and teachers like you guys going to just save our life or give us some secret mantra which can actually help reform our life in a certain way. Ma'am, how do you deal with all of this pressure? How does the women in position feels like? Is there any secret to your success? And how do you handle both? Like, providing good quality education to students, yet maintaining a proper corporate like structure and providing a quality outcome in terms of the brand level of the school.
I wouldn't say it is easy. Yes, it is tough. But what is more important when you are focused and when you know what your goal is, I don't think, and when you set your mind on something, I don't think it then becomes very difficult. Yes, there are pressures, but you have what we really know. And I think women for those reasons, the time management is the key to this.
Yes.
So when you have that skill in you and you know that, you have allocated time where this is a time for this task and this is my time for, my school. And once I'm home, that's time for my home and I am not getting disturbed with this school. Though I would say a principal's job is 24 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, you come home and there are calls, but I try my, allocate my time so that once I'm in school, and I calendarize it. I use time management skills. I use a lot of technology to do it. So,
Yes.
all my events, everything is put onto Google Calendar, ensuring that, we go by the calendar. And of course, in between, there are going to be things. I mean, 3,000 student school, you will have emergencies coming your doorstep and you should be ready. And also another very important thing which enables us to do is decision-making capacity.
Right.
It is very important that
Right.
you are quick in taking your decisions,
Right.
and that helps us to do that.
Ma'am, were you always this fearful or it just with the process?
Yes, with the process and with the experience you grow and you learn. Yes, it has helped me. But I would say right at a very young age, what really helped me was, so my mother was a very empowered woman.
Right.
She was a businesswoman 40 years back and had a very successful, she was an entrepreneur, very successful businesswoman.
Right.
And at a very young age, she involved me into her business. So whatever
Right.
after school time I had, I would go out, help her
Mm.
in her, business decisions, shop with her, and that time there were no phones. So sometimes I would go out in the market and take my own decision and where I was not even, involving her in taking her decision, which also then helped me to become the person I am today. So
Right.
I do owe it to that
Right.
part of my upbringing as well.
Right. So coming from a very strong foundation, that does help.
Of course, the
Right.
kind of exposure we give to our children is what
Right.
is it going to make? I was hearing somebody today, I think Rakeshwari ji only spoke about in the event when she said the unfortunate part is that we don't want our children to face any failures. We don't want
Yes.
them to face any challenges. It is rather unfortunate because if we do that, life will come with challenges. Life
Right.
will come with failures. Life will have its set of problems. And if
Right.
we don't allow them at an early age
Right.
to face that, how are they going to face it later? I
Right.
mean, we will not be there with them. So they should
Right.
know. I mean, we all pray for our children that they shouldn't be getting those setbacks, but it is important that
Right.
they also see some kind of challenges and they learn the resilience, the growth mindset,
Right.
great perseverance from there.
And those qualities are very, very
Those are the
important.
skills. Those are the
Right.
skills which are essential to grow as a successful person.
Right. Right. When I'm talking about challenges, I've seen this. I mean, now obviously it's improving a lot. When we were in school, girls are so good with sciences and we are always getting the good marks. But as we slowly increase from, school to undergrad to higher education in the domain of STEM, right? The ratio becomes very bad, right? Like when I did my aerospace engineering, and it's not just an Indian problem, it's a global problem.
Correct.
So I did my aerospace engineering from London University of Liverpool. In my class of 800, there were only 5 girls. Right. And I was like, okay, so they have problem here as well. Why do you think, ma'am, girls take sciences, but then they opt out to go in, STEM domain?
See,
What
it's
happens?
it's not just sciences. It is across in every field, whether it is sciences, humanities. See, somewhere, everywhere, every part of the world, woman or a girl child is brought up with the fact that eventually your family is the end goal, and that is what is going to bring happiness.
Right.
And they it gets ingrained, which is somewhere a fact also. I mean,
Right.
you could be as successful as you want, but if
Exactly.
you don't have a happy home to go back to, your success does not
Does
matter.
not matter.
So somewhere in that process, when they give that, then they want to weigh the profession versus personal, it's always personal life that takes over. And also because it's a woman who gives birth to a child.
Absolutely.
So that
Yeah.
maternal instinct, and they take it that it's my duty and my responsibility
Right.
to take care of the child, rather being it be
Ah.
partnered, and more so in our country or
Ah.
the Asian countries where it is somewhere taken for granted that it's going to be the
Right.
mother who has to take care. But I think it has to be a dual responsibility. And also, unfortunately, if
Right.
I speak about India in particular, I strongly feel that somewhere we are now educating our daughters.
Yes.
We are definitely educating and they're doing wonders, but we aren't educating our sons so much to be the
Yeah.
equal partner. So
Yes.
that is something that we now need to bring
Right.
in.
Approach need to be bit different.
बिल्कुल
Right? We
change
need
करना है.
to
Yes.
change. We need to teach our boys also that
that they are equally responsible for everything. So we aren't teaching our boy
Ah.
cook food, to iron
Exactly.
clothes, to clean the house. So
Right.
that's very, very important.
Right. No, that is a very important point, and I'm sure the parents who are listening, they can take it on a very positive note that it's two people actually who makes a difference,
come
not just
together.
one person.
Yeah, who come together.
responsibility.
It is responsible if the girl is earning, if
Yeah.
a woman is earning. And
Right.
it's an equal responsibility for a boy and a girl to equally partner at home also.
Right.
I mean, it's fine if a man comes back home and after a long day
Yeah.
work or makes entire food. Why just cup of coffee makes
Right,
entire food and
right.
makes chapati for the wife?
Right.
What's wrong in it? She's also
Right.
come back after a long day of work.
Right. Absolutely, ma'am. Ma'am, on that note, I wanted to ask if we see young India is changing and it's booming, and we have Mark Zuckerberg coming to India, and Modi ji is doing so many different things. But at the same time, they are still the ratio of the people. I mean, for obvious reason, can be a job perspective or anything. Like, chalo, Canada, side, right? What do you think? What is the balance in between? And how do you see the future of India? Are we really changing?
No, we are definitely changing. We are definitely, I'm very, very positive. I look at things changing very rapidly, and soon India is going to be the country where people would want to come and work here.
Right.
I see my country like that. I'm very
Mhm.
positive about it, the way we are going. But I still feel there is a huge gap between the urban India and the rural India.
Yes.
That needs to be bridged. When we are able to bridge that, I think then, we'll be able to achieve what we are saying. But I'm very positive. I do see that change.
Right. We see a bright future here.
Future,
So maybe
yes.
our talent, they can go abroad to study, but come back.
Come back. Yes.
Come back. We
Yes,
don't
sir.
want to lose on another
Come
Sundar Pichai.
No, see, though I'm also a guilty parent. My daughter is also moved to Australia. She's a
Right.
chef. She's moved
Oh,
there.
lovely.
Yeah, and she's doing her master's. But she often says that her profession is not looked up to in country like India.
Right.
So, but I still feel things are changing.
Right.
You know, things are changing, and if we can have that opportunities for our own children, there's no other place than your own country to live in.
Right. Ma'am, now because you mentioned your daughter is chef, how supportive parents were you? Because I'll tell you my story. So I am an accidental aerospace engineer because I did not wanted to do it. My father was in army, so he was like, you have to go and do it. So I went there and studied, did my post graduation. When I came back, I worked there for around 6, 7 years, different design tech industry. And I was like, I wanted to start my own business. I want to come back. And it was like a big heart attack for them. And they literally did not support it majorly because the family and society. They were like, वापिस आके यही सब करना था तो
Right,
पढ़ाई
you said.
करने क्यों गए थे?
Yeah.
Right. And I was a very creative child. Maybe I could have done arts better or something, but I never got that chance to explore. So when your daughter said she want to be a chef, were you like cool parent, like, yes, go
So-
for it?
So honestly, yes. And I'm being very honest. My
Right.
daughter was only in grade 3 when she had announced that she wanted to be a chef.
Wow.
And it never changed after that.
Right.
So, and we always had got her cookbooks, and she would only see cookery,
Mm.
programs on the TV. We were in Dubai. She would also watch these programs in Arabic language,
Ah.
and we were good with it. It was in grade 11 when the school she was studying, and one of the ages of Mr. Pramod Sharma,
Right.
where there was an opportunity for her to go to Spain for 15 days
Oh,
for
wow.
a culinary workshop.
Right.
So that's when and that is a kitchen where MasterChef Australia is also
shot.
shot. So we took that as an opportunity because it's different when you want to cook as a hobby and when you want to take it as
Take
a
as a
profession.
profession.
Being a chef and working in a kitchen in those high
That
temperatures
will
can be very, very taxing.
Right.
So we did send her there. She came back with a very strong belief that now I 100% want to be a chef. She
Right.
chose her college. She got through Abroes. She got through IHM. She got
Right.
through the ITC Manipal. She
Right.
chose that I want to go to ITC Manipal. People told us that you're not guiding her right. How can
Right.
she choose,
Right.
ITC over IHM on an
Right.
Oberoi? I said, let her do what she wants to, and she has
Exactly.
no regrets on it. She's gone to Leopold Blue,
Right.
second best culinary college in the world. She
Right.
wanted to only pursue patisserie art, and she wanted to
Right.
specialize. He said, fair enough. Though we know the scope in terms of profession of making money is very limited in patisserie and bakery.
Right.
But she's gone ahead and do it.
Right.
My younger one, again, is a
Right.
bright student. She wants to do NIFT. She got through NIFT. Why
Right.
not? Why not support them what
Mm.
they want to do?
Exactly.
It's best when your interest becomes your profession.
Right. Right.
When your interest becomes your profession, then you do
Right.
amazingly.
And now
well.
look at her, a successful chef settled in Australia.
Yes.
So
yes,
you gave her the freedom and she made sure that she worked hard for it.
for it.
Right?
Yes.
Maybe that's what our young generation also needs it.
It's
Because so many parents, they come and they tell me whenever we go to schools, they say कि अगर IIT clear कर लिया तो good, नहीं हुआ तो maybe if we can afford, we'll send it to good foreign university. So rest of the in between student, I feel like they're kind of lost. They're like, we are just studying for, sending to some normal
there
colleges.
Are right. Today, I say there are so many professions beyond being an engineer,
Right.
So there are a lot of professions beyond sciences now
Yes, yes, yes.
available and for children to succeed.
Right.
It's the only thing is that we need to give them the right opportunity and support at the
Right.
right time.
I was watching television couple of days back and I saw this in news. There are some around 3,000 jobs vacancies open for wine tasters.
She's a certified sommelier. And
Right.
she's done it from UK. And but again, if she wants, she can make a lot of money being a wine sommelier. But
Right.
she decides to be a patisserie chef.
Right.
And money is not important. What is ultimately going to give you happiness is where do you feel satisfied? Where is your
Right.
heart where it lies? And her heart lies in bakery and patisserie.
Right.
Why should we force her? She wanted to do that as an interest part,
Right.
but not as a profession. She's
Right.
doing it.
And that's what matters the most because
Yes.
this is the age where we get to learn and explore and be
Of course,
creative about it.
Of course.
Right, right. Ma'am, because you're in education sector, I think who could be a better person in terms of explaining to our viewers. After national education policy was out, then some school innovation policy, they mentioned some 25, 30 different skills. People are still confused about it. Like they've mentioned so many vocational, experiential learning, entrepreneurial, all of those skills. If you could explain it to our viewers, please, in a very simple way, what exactly it stands for and how exactly we can implement it so that everybody can have an equal benefit.
See, unfortunately, why are we confused or why is anybody confused is because we want to gain about a document which is so large, NEP,
Yes.
through different forums or just very short interviews. We don't want to read it through.
Right.
My suggestion to everybody is that open that doc. It's a brilliant, the way it has been drafted. If we are able to execute it, it's a brilliant document. We must
Right.
read through it. However, if I have to sum it up, today we are talking, NEP talks about skill development rather than just the knowledge,
Right.
which they are trying to bring in right from grade 9,
Right.
to the children at the school. They then pick up, different vocational subjects as well,
Right.
develop the skills through it,
Right.
and then take it up as their career choice. So as
Right.
early as grade 9, which we don't offer right now, is what they are proposing
Right.
from that document.
Right. So if they understand it, if they go through it, maybe that could be the very right way
Right
to
way
actually,
to approach it. Yes,
because
it's
short
such-
forums and the interaction won't work.
See, it's somebody, it has taken years. And it's a huge document for me, for me to explain that in giving you 2 or 3 minutes
Right.
is not possible. But in just if I have to talk about, skill development is what NEP is talking about.
Right.
Across grades, but when the child is at higher education, which is
Mm.
grade 9, which is high school we are talking about, they are talking about picking up subject areas to study from your interest.
Right. Right.
From your
Exactly.
interest, right.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Right.
Ma'am, any last message you would like to give to our viewers, especially to younger generation who are still figuring it out, still very confused? They feel maybe disheartened sometime, because their
It-
friends is doing better.
I would only say to the younger generation, I would only say that follow your heart. And there is nothing wrong. The only problem with the younger generation today is
Right.
that they don't want to seek help. They know that Google ne hame jo bataya hai, that is the truth, and
Ah.
that's about it. There is no harm in seeking professional help.
Right.
There is so much available today through AI. There is psychometric tests.
Right.
They give you their interest to find that out where your heart lies, what you want to do, and follow. And there are many. Every scene today has many verticals to it.
Right.
You could pick up any of those. Start early, be focused. Keep your aim, keep your goal there, and there is no substitute to hard. Pick up any line, there is absolute no substitute.
Right.
If you, the problem is the younger generation wants a quick buck.
Yes.
That doesn't work.
There's no
It-
shortcut.
There is no shortcut to hard work. Perseverance, hard work, and then success will come to your door.
Right.
There's no way it will not come.
Definitely, ma'am.
right.
So I'll request to all our viewers, keep all these pointers in mind, and I'm sure you're going to do many, many great things in your life. Once again, ma'am, thank you so much for
Thank you.
being on
Thank
this
you for
podcast.
Thank
It was
you.
lovely having conversation with
Thank
you.
you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye.
Thanks.